Here's a video for some random thoughts. I've been watching a lot of content lately, not so much on the big channels, but on smaller channels. I found one called Goldman Stacks. He's a UK stacker. He's got some pretty good videos, and I just watched Kansas Kid on he's recalibrating his stacking to go for more value type stuff and specific items. And I always joke around that my stacking strategy always changes, like depends on the time of day, because I always get sucked into these rabbit holes where I have to buy these super cool new premium pieces that come out, and I don't have to. It's kind of fun to do for the YouTube channel for content, but it's not really ideal to buy higher premium items like this. And I'm hoping that First Mint has another sale one of these days soon, because these things, this is like my favorite, I don't know, mass-produced bars. They're not like, they have a little bit higher premium right now, but when they had their last sale, when I bought a whole bunch of these 5-ounce bars, and I did it because they had a sale. I think it was a Father's Day sale or something like that, like maybe a year ago. And they had these were like 50 cents over spot. And the weird thing about First Mint is when they did it, it could be any size. So if you wanted to buy a kilo bar, 50 cents over spot. 10-ounce bar, 50 cents over spot. So it was kind of cool. And check this out. This is a little side effect that I didn't notice. These First Mint bars outside of the seal are toning up beautifully. This thing is going to be amazing. I might want to store this face down just to see, because this thing, look at that toning. It is blowing up, and I love it when these things tone up. Looks so cool. This is a 5-ounce one I took out of the package. This one's toning up as well. That is super neat. Some people don't like toning, but I think it's super cool. Adds a lot of character. But hopefully they'll have a sale one of these days soon. I'm going to get more 5-ounce bars. If they're the same price, it's always better to go for the smaller size because it's easier to sell. And speaking of selling, my silver, I'll sell my silver eventually. When I do, it'll be to probably buy income-producing real estate or another similar investment, or maybe collector cars, because I think the value of collector cars is going to be going way down with the economy, and I'm excited for it. So I've been stacking this stuff up forever, it seems like, and so I might trade like maybe a kilo for a Corvette. Who knows? We'll see. Got to wait for all the stars to align. Like the price of silver needs to go up quite a bit, and the price of everything else needs to go down. Kind of like it did in 2009, 2010. That would have been a dream, and that's an opportunity I missed out on. I could have converted all my silver into real estate. Silver had gone up 4 times, had gone up 4x, 400%, and real estate had gone down 50%. Pretty much everywhere. I know your area is different. Your area is different. I always hear that, but it pretty much went down by 50% everywhere, and I could have converted a lot. But I had the FOMOs, and I was thinking, oh, if it's going to go to $400, holy cow, we got to get it. Can't sell it. It's going to go through the roof, and that was a mistake. So I learned to look for other values, and in doing that, or at least in watching some of the content I've been watching lately, is there was the Goldman Stacks. I'll put a link to his video down below. He has some 250-gram gold bars, metal ore bars. They're beautiful bars, and he made a video about how it was a mistake for him to buy them because of the capital gains tax. And I made a comment in his video. I was like, well, you can put them in a vault. You can vault those bars and then take out a loan against them. And then instead of paying capital gains tax on the sale of the bars, you don't sell them. You still have your bars, and you take out a loan to purchase hopefully something that produces income to pay the payment. And then you can even write off the interest on the loan. So people always get, I feel like people get locked into saying, well, I got to buy it at this price and then sell it at this price. But we talk about, in precious metals, we talk about being our own bank. And what do banks do? They don't do anything except loan money. So I think the most important part of being your own bank is being able to loan money to yourself and even to other people in the forms of, like, if you do, like the Economic Ninja had his tax lien and tax deed course, where you could actually loan money to the government and get paid back like 18%. Some people are getting like 30% interest on their on the liens. And that helps out the homeowner, if you're buying tax liens, by giving them a little bit more time to pay their loans, but you get a high interest rate in return, which, I mean, that seems reasonable to me. But I could see even like these quarter-ounce pieces going up so much to where it'd be something to really ponder when you go to sell it. If, like, man, is it even worth selling quarter-ounce pieces because of the capital gains tax? But one nice thing is about these smaller amounts is you can find somebody in your community, in the precious metals community, that you could sell this to and stay below the radar. I'm not saying to avoid capital gains or avoid taxes, but you should do it on your own terms. You don't want people submitting forms on your behalf, because you don't know how those forms will go. I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know how those forms will go, but when you sell precious metals to a dealer, many times they'll collect your information and submit that to the IRS if it's enough money. And then who knows what they put on the form? Maybe they put on the form that they paid you $6,000, or maybe they put on the form they paid you $60,000. I don't know, but you're responsible for the taxes. So it's better if you sell this privately for $800, or whatever the market rate is, $700 for a quarter ounce, that you claim, I sold it for $700, I paid $600 for it, so I have to pay taxes on the $100, not whatever somebody else. I like having the control over the tax reporting. And people usually think, oh, it's because you're trying to avoid tax, but I'm not, because there's not many things that I fear, but the IRS is one thing that I do fear. So never mess with your taxes. Never lie to your CPA or your doctor. Those are the two people. You can lie to anybody else, but, well, not really. Don't lie. But, yeah, so like things like this, if you want to sell to a dealer, it's not so bad if you want to get like, you know, $700 or $800. But some things you don't want to sell to dealers, and a lot of people get locked into thinking you've got to sell to a dealer. That's the only place. There's no dealers around here that'll buy it. Or what I get a lot on my channel is, this is a very collectible Valcambi quarter ounce of gold from Scotiabank, and this would sell for quite a huge premium. The comment I get on my channel is like, you're just going to get spot for it when you sell it. I'm like, no, you're wrong. I'm not going to get spot for it when I sell it, because if that's all I can get for it, I'm not selling it. And I'm not going to sell it to a dealer. A dealer? Yeah, they'll pay me the same price for the Scotiabank bar as for this regular plain old Britannia. Same price. But this one's probably worth at least 20 or 30% more. It could be worth 100% more. I'm not sure. I haven't checked the values of the Scotiabank stuff, but even things like this 1987 Panda. It's a quarter ounce. This is before they started doing them just in grams. But this quarter ounce 1987 Panda, an original mint seal in the original capsule. Yeah, I'm going to get spot for this at a dealer. This I would never sell to a dealer. You'd have to be crazy to sell high premium stuff to a dealer. They're not going to pay you what it's worth. It's like, I've used the analogy before. You've got a 1969 Corvette worth, that you paid 30 grand for it. It'd be like saying, well, when you go to sell it, you're only going to get $1,500 for it. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And that kind of mentality is, well, if you take it to the Chevy dealer to trade it in on a Chevy Equinox, yeah, the dealer's going to give you $1,500 for your 69 Camaro. Why would you do that? You wouldn't. Nobody would do that. And the same thing with precious metals. Don't sell to dealers if you got premium stuff. Sell to dealers if you got generic stuff, like a lot of the stuff here. Although not generic, it is a premium brand. The First Mint stuff is priced like generic. It's got maybe a little bit more premium on it if you buy it regularly just off the website. But if you catch their sale, back up the truck, because people, I mean, even if you sell this individually, somebody's going to pay more for a First Mint product than they will for like a, 5 1-ounce generic Buffaloes. Anyway, just a thought. I will put a link to the gold standard down below, or not the gold standard. What am I doing? My brain. I need coffee. I'll put a link down to the Gold Man Stacks, the video that had that where he regretted buying the 250 gram, quarter-kilo gold bars. And feel free to chime in and let them know what you think. I mean, a lot of people just think that you have to sell it and take cash and take the capital gains tax, but there's other ways around it. Plus, with stuff like this, if you know you're gonna have to pay capital gains tax, maybe you'll figure out something else to sell that's not your dynastic wealth or the wealth of your family. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And this is a Fed Cup coin. When I first got this, I didn't know what the hell this was until I noticed the tennis ball. Buy some cool stuff, and don't get locked into thinking that you have to sell to, especially to a coin shop, because you don't.